Today, let's create a CNAB bundle and then consume it. This is an empty folder that we're starting with. Let's create the CNAB bundle from scratch. So this is an empty folder, as you can see it. We open that folder using Visual Studio Code. This machine has Porter installed. The instructions are available on the porter.sh website. And Visual Studio has a Porter extension installed in it to help with the authoring of the CNAB bundle. Now, because it is all installed earlier, the Porter, we are going to just use it to create our first bundle. Porter create. If you see here, there is a set of files that got created as a result of this Porter create command. The main file is the Porter YAML file. This is the primarily the configuration file that is required to author the Porter bundles. This has the name, version, and description listed over here on the top. This is the registry. It can be any OCI compliant registry that the bundle would get pushed to if you wanted to push it to a bundle. Here are the list of mixins used in this particular Porter YAML file or in this particular bundle. And the commands are install, upgrade, and uninstall. And in the install, the steps are to execute the helper.sh with install argument. Likewise for upgrade and uninstall, there is a section for credentials and parameters, but these are commented. So there are no credentials defined for this, and there are no parameters required to use this bundle. Let's take a quick look at the helper.sh. As you can see, it is simply doing an install, which is hello world, and upgrade and uninstall. So now that the Porter required files are created, let's go and build this. The CNAB folder is .cnab folder is created in the same directory, and there's a bundle.json and an app folder. Everything required for this bundle for this helper.sh to be executed is part of this bundle. This is a CNAB bundle that we can push it to a registry to share it with people who want to consume it. Now this is how from the producing a bundle side of things. Now let's say if somebody wants to consume this bundle, uh, say Porter explain. This gives the details of the bundle like the name, description, version, and what credentials and parameters are required to be able to run it. So there are no credentials and parameters, and I have the bundle. And I know that the commands for Portal bundle, generally the CNAB bundles are install, upgrade, and uninstall. So Porter install. Ignore these errors for now. We'll follow up with the uh, respective teams for it, but essentially it installed the hello world. You see here, install hello world description and then hello world from the actual exe, and it completed. Now if I want to uninstall the same thing, Porter uninstall. This went ahead and ran the uninstall command, which essentially ran the helper with which got executed and displayed this particular text to us. So we were able to install and uninstall the bundle and see that it ran successfully on the machine. This would be the same experience on for any user on a different machine by referencing the bundle in from an uh, registry. For our example, we can try and use the ACR Azure Container Registry. To make it a little more interesting, let's see how we can bundle something from an ARM template. Uh, we have an ARM template that creates a storage account, and let's see if we can try and deploy uh, that template using the CNAB bundle. So in this folder, I'm adding this ARM template that is essentially creating a storage account, right? It's creating a standard storage account. This is a standard ARM template, nothing fancy about it. All it is doing is creating a storage account in the given resource group. Let's go and make some changes to the uh, YAML file. In the interest of time, I have that ready here. Let's go and see this now. So this is the same YAML file from before, portal demo hello. Let's maybe call it storage account. So version 010. This is my ACR registry that I want this bundle to be pushed to. And in this, I'm using AZ and exec mixins. And here I'm first doing an Azure AZ login by passing in my credentials, username, password, and then I am doing an set subscription, AZ set subscription, targeting to my specific subscription, and then I'm creating the resource group. I'm then running the the ARM template deployment, which is essentially the same template file uh, that was copied into the folder. It's in the same folder as the Porter YAML. The upgrade is pretty much just running the helper script that we saw before. And the uninstall is essentially logging in again, setting the subscription ID and deleting the resource group. So these are the steps to be performed for install and uninstall. If I look at it for credentials, I have defined certain credentials that I need, essentially the client ID, tenant ID, subscription stuff that is required. And from parameters, I specified the resource group name and the location name. Uh, this one doesn't have a default value. Let me go ahead and maybe add one default value here. West US. Okay, so this is my YAML file, and um, let me first build this porter build. So we just are trying to follow the steps here, like creating an login to use and creating the resource group if it doesn't exist, and then executing an ARM template using the AZC. It is similar to running AZCLI commands, but we have defined it as part of mixins in the Porter YAML file. Now that it is built, uh, let's see the Porter explain what does it say for this particular bundle. It is clearly giving me the name version of this bundle and then telling me what credentials I need for this bundle. Right now, let's go and Porter credentials generate. I'm saying test to creds. Now this is going through each of those credentials defined in the bundle, and These are uh, demo values that I'm using for now. So our test2 creds got created here. I have already created a credential similarly with the real values to be used for the demo. But this is just a sort to show you how to create the credentials if you need. Same way for parameters as well. But in our case, we have defined the default values of the parameters. So we would not need to create a special parameter list that we have to use. Let's go ahead and install this. Before that, let me quickly show you that this is the subscription, and we don't have any of uh, this resource group created before. Let's come here and porter install credentials would be this one. So it's installing the porter demo. The installation has started. It is executing the login. It's creating the resource group. Let's check the name of the resource group used here. Yep, there you go. It got reflected in the portal. So this is how we would install and or uninstall bundles that are created in CNAB. To summarize, we saw how to create a CNAB bundle from scratch, create a CNAB bundle for an ARM template and install that, how to consume CNAB bundles using porter explain, porter install, and install commands. Hopefully, this will help you explore more for CNAB and porter in general.